Hey, Nick, we need a tagline for the podcast.
No. Real life opinions. Movie reviews told by fans and not critics.
Let's just bleed right into it.
Yeah, are we just leading right into it?
Yeah.
Right
Are you
into it.
recording it right now?
Yeah, he's recording.
Okay, you're recording it right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I have to share my new favorite song with you guys.
okay.
Okay, it has nothing to do with what we just watched.
This is the Minecraft movie?
It is the Minecraft movie.
Any of our podcasts start with whatever?
No.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say, really.
no, they
No,
don't.
it does not.
But I'm gonna look it up on the Spotify here. We're gonna play it, and you guys got to tell me what you think of my
Is
new
this like the zombie chicken thing?
zombie
Or
chicken.
whatever the fuck it is?
Not a zombie chicken.
I didn't watch the movie.
It has to do with chicken, though. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now Spotify's going to take some time because we're recording, right? I got 6 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
The suspense
1.
is killing me.
Okay. Tell me it isn't catchy. Chicken. Who's lava chicken?
That's right off the bat.
So just imagine James and Nick in my backyard, or Walker and James, he's like, yeah, dancing.
There was places in the States where they had to kick people out because they were going too crazy with that song.
Oh, with Steve's
Yeah.
lava chicken.
Yeah. And you think they even banned somebody from a movie theater because
Yeah.
of that.
There was cops involved and everything.
That, I think, yeah, I heard that one too.
Some of the movie reactions to that movie are just ridiculous. Like the kids have like their shirts off and they're throwing popcorn because he's going flint and steel. Like it's a crazy phenomenon.
So, yeah, no. Just no.
Andrew's like, if we do that movie, I want to be the expert on it.
I don't think any of us are Minecraft nerds, so
No,
Oh,
he is though.
So this is what we do. Okay. We'll be here. We can ask some questions, but we'll bring Steven, Alan, and Nick.
yes.
Andrew.
And Andrew. There we go.
No, we need Walker and James. They could tell you everything. Everything.
You know Alan and Nick still play Minecraft, right?
Well, this is true.
Andrew.
Right?
Steven barely at all plays.
Okay, so scratch Steven. We'll
Yeah.
bring Andrew. And then
I play too sometimes.
For shame, Daddy. For shame.
I need more coffee for this shit.
You're the second oldest person here.
Sometimes you get bored of some games. It's like, I should try this. That's kind of cool. And I'll just go back to killing people after that.
Have you ever made a lava chicken?
What is a lava chicken?
You take
So-
the chicken and you dump it in lava.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
And then it
I
turns
just
into
make little
like,
houses and that's it.
Fireball.
well, it
Walking
turns into
fireball.
like a cooked chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
right,
turns
that's
in
right,
like that's where the song. Never mind.
All right.
Wow, it's just...
I have a feeling that somebody
We're
needs
not
to go
doing a
get me-
Minecraft movie today, people.
Somebody needs to go get me a caffeine IV drip. Where's Amy when I need her?
La 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 lava chicken. She's lava chicken.
So hey, on the note of musicals, what movie are you doing today, Danny?
We're doing... Oh, shit. Completely off.
You don't know
just
the
said
name
it.
of the
You just
song.
said it, dude. Just give me a second, because down here, the song in my head.
Yeah, now you've got Steve's lava chicken stuck in your head.
You were like halfway
Yeah, I was there.
there.
Like, wait.
Yeah, it's
Singing in the Rain. Singing in the Rain for this month. We're doing classic movies. So we're getting that in there.
yeah.
1952's Singing in the Rain.
The funny
Was it 52? I thought it was 53.
Now you're just doing that to be argumentative.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I think
I
Danny's
thought it was
right.
53. But if it's 52, I could be wrong.
Looking at videos today. so-
you
Were
watched
you?
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look,
Okay.
it does work.
Oh look,
And,
Miss Google's right there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, my voice is going to me. Sorry.
He's right. Yeah, okay.
Wait, whoa. This is only happened.
Monumental.
This is twice.
Ah, fuck you all.
Now,
On this
Corey-
day.
do you know what date?
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It's like December 29th or something, wasn't it?
April 11th.
April 11th.
Oh, really?
April 11th,
Oh.
1952.
What are the
Wow.
odds?
So 4 days.
Yeah.
We're afforded. You know what? For how quickly we get these things out, it'll probably be released on that.
4 days and 73 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 So Corey's releasing it in 73 years.
Yeah. We're off to a good start.
So I have time to do it, you're saying.
Not if you keep up with Jeff's timeline.
Yeah.
So, I know musicals aren't your guys' thing.
No,
So
it's pretty awful.
it's pretty awful.
It's not my thing either.
But
I
you picked this
I
movie.
picked the movie because
Yeah,
I
we're
wanted
so
to see it
thankful.
because I hadn't seen it. But we had that talk yesterday about this movie. You're right. I did see that movie with her. And then
I thought you
her actual favorite song was "The King and I," the old one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind that movie.
I would watch that. I was thinking after
Is it-
thought of it.
Well, there's The King and I, Taming of the Shrew, all of those ones.
Yeah. All right,
Ah, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Nah.
Not in there.
I mean, it's a modern day retelling of The Taming of the Shrew.
Yeah, but The Taming of the Shrew was nothing like that.
I mean, we did Romeo and Juliet, let's not forget.
No, we did not do Romeo and Juliet. We did a weird ass version of
That was
Romeo.
probably the most faithful adaptation to Romeo and Juliet on screen.
No.
Save for the cars and shootouts.
I mean, faithful is probably not the right word to use.
word for word,
It was not word for word.
it was damn near word for word.
It was close, but it was not.
It was the closest to a word for word.
You need to watch Romeo and Juliet.
Nah.
We did!
No.
So Romeo and Juliet, what the Leonardo DiCaprio
Yes,
one?
Yeah.
that's
Oh, that
what
was
we
so
And,
horrible.
and I quote,
Damn.
and I quote when I asked about it, it was the one with DiCaprio, right? Please tell me I did not watch that for nothing.
Yeah.
Amazing soundtrack, though. Amazing soundtrack.
Soundtrack was good, yes.
It was a very quintessential 90s soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah.
The movie was shit.
Unlike Singing in the Rain, which has a quintessential 1950s soundtrack.
Well, actually, the movie takes place in 29, so...
So you think it was a quintessential 1920? Yeah, isn't it weird to see a movie, like an old movie like that, that's nostalgia of old movies?
Yeah.
I thought that was like, I think the term I used the other day was kind of meta.
Meta.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
you
you
said
said it.
meta.
You said it best. So
Yeah. Which you don't think in the 1950s that they had nostalgia for another era, but like, obviously they fucking did, so...
every generation, or at least every decade, has a nostalgia for the previous decade. So the fact that this one was like 20-year difference, well, almost 30.
Look at the generation now. They're looking at the 90s as that's the way to go.
They're nostalgic about YouTube videos.
The 90s is like the
It-
silent film era to us type thing. So
Right?
Yeah.
Wow. Like, the silent film era
Not
was to
quite.
Singing in the Rain.
yeah,
The 90s is to the...
yeah.
We just blew Jeff's mind.
Well,
Fuck, we're old.
it's totally true, though. Like, where
that we're old or that?
you look at
I
the...
was gonna go the old part, but sure.
Yes, we're old. But I more meant, like, look at where media is today and look at where media was in the 90s. Like, it's unrecognizable. Like, media's in your pocket now.
I think what's funny is I think my parents did a really good job shielding me from the 80s media because I think I made this comment before. The thing is, 80s was so loud and vibrant because it was hiding all the fucking shit that was happening in politics.
Yeah.
So when the 90s came, the politics were in the forefront because 1990, the collapse of the Berlin Wall, the end of the Cold War. I think it was 89, but either way, like there was a lot of shit that happened in the 90s politically that they couldn't hide it with anything. So
So what you're saying, Corey, is we need to have our kids watch movies from the 90s because of the political shit that's happening right now.
yeah, well, you'd think they
Oh,
would,
no,
people
for
would have
sure. They
learned.
need to be- yeah.
Desert Storm was a total like precursor to the war in Iraq later on.
Yeah.
I know it was in Iraq too, in Desert Storm. So
It's ironic that it's just like George Bush.
and
Senior.
then George W. Bush.
And
Yeah.
then his son, just a few years later, his son.
It's like,
So-
I'm gonna finish the war for my dad.
Yep.
I had a friend who is like incredibly right-wing Christian, and he's like, "Oh, the Bible says that you need to protect the Holy Land and all its people, and so George Bush is doing God's work by fixing that land." I'm like, or he could just mind his own fucking business.
Also, doesn't the Bible say that you shouldn't worship another idol other than God? Which calling something the Holy Land, wouldn't that make it an idol to worship
No,
in and
'cause
upon itself?
an idol is a statue, but the Bible also does state, "Thou shalt not kill."
Yeah.
Yeah, but an idol in like, I don't think it's used in the literal sense of a statue. Like the terminology, I always said it was overarching. Don't worship anything but me.
From what I remember,
Well, he also said in the Ten Commandments, "I'm the one true God, and you shall not have any other gods other than me." So he does say that. So.
like I remember what I remember from Sunday school too is like when he was getting the 10 Commandments, they were worshiping the golden idol.
Yeah.
And that's what,
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So
The golden cow.
yeah.
Yep.
And then God said, "Don't."
Don't do it.
I am the
I'm gonna
one
kill you.
true God.
And then there's Morgan Wallen. I'm leaving for God's country.
I
See, I don't know why they're looking for him. They have Morgan Freeman.
Ah.
but he's a free man.
But
He's not
he is-
walling around.
God!
Yeah. Man, we are very ADHD today. We were talking about the silent film, and now we're talking about
Now we're
Morgan Freeman
just-
is gone.
This
you
could
guys
be
know
a
what they're
long day.
re-releasing in theaters?
Singing in the rain?
No. Dogma.
Yes,
Yes,
I heard
I-
that.
Yeah,
The golden cow, the golden idol.
Yep.
It's going on the list, guys. Going on the list.
So is that part of our whole...
Yeah, but we'd have to go to Edmonton because cameras won't do it.
Wait, that's like the third time you've cut off Laura.
I know. I don't
okay.
listen to Laura.
Yeah, I don't listen to women. They're not real people. Good for you, Corey. Good for you.
Every time he talks, I'll just throw something at him. After he doesn't talk.
Yeah, now he's listening.
There's harder stuff here.
Finish your thought.
Too late, it's gone now.
See what happens when you cut her off.
ADHD.
I would go up to Edmonton to watch Dogma.
Oh, so would I.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Or you don't watch it at home on 4K, but whatever.
Yeah.
So
So, did you guys find it funny at the beginning of this movie where he talks about his elegant start in the movies?
Yes.
I love. Oh yeah, I was classically trained. As you see, he's like going to some like bum college. Oh, we were going around to the highest clubs. They're playing in a frickin' bar. We had the most outstanding acts, and it's that fucking
Piano, and they're on the
Dueling
stage.
pianos?
the
Yeah.
dueling pianos.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
And
every time I see that, I think of Daffy Duck and
Donald in
I was thinking,
Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit. Yeah.
yeah, his distinguished career and how it started. I actually like how they made him kind of like a relatable, like even though he was like the biggest movie star at the time, they like made him like a relatable working man up to there, right? Like
Yeah,
he's just
they
like,
did, yeah.
I can do the stunt work. Yeah, you can flip me off over in the back of a bar. Sure, I can crash that plane into a barn.
So, you notice one of the big things with them doing the stunts and that with their actors then compared to now, at least in our movies, they get fake blood.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't run through a barn in a plane and come out scratch free.
If Gene Kelly taught me anything in that movie, it's that no matter what shoes you're wearing in the rain, they can become tap dance shoes at any point.
Oh.
Like,
And that police officers, when you're climbing the light poles, just put their hands on their hips and stare at you.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
but it's okay because he was singing in the rain.
Right.
I'm dancing and singing in the rain.
Knowing these are all set pieces in like a studio backlog, holy fuck, does the rain come down hard back in them old days?
I think that's back when they did the light post thing.
I
The
think
light
they just
post
set
thing?
off the sprinklers.
Maybe. And then in Universal backlot, they had like electrical poles and everything like that, and they had sprinkler shoot, and that's how they made rain in movies. Is they shot it up with that, and then it fell on people.
Sprinklers.
Really?
Yeah. That said, you heard how Gene Kelly got ridiculously sick making this movie.
Well, I'm not
Yeah,
shocked.
kidding.
right?
The rain just like
Like 103 fever and everything, and yeah,
Like, dude was freaking drenched.
yeah, kicking the water and everything. And
Not even my favorite song in this, though.
Was it Good Morning?
Good Morning was pretty catchy. No,
the comedy one,
yeah, the comedy one was.
I can't remember the name. I had.
Yeah, I've lost
Yeah.
it now. I remember
It's
thinking
like right there. I was thinking about it right before this, and yeah.
his buddy's really funny in that one. Hey, I love
his
his.
second. Yeah, is his buddy in the background? Yeah.
I love.
Those supporting ones are always better.
Oh yeah,
Remind me to give you a raise. Oh, RK, give me a raise.
yeah.
We were talking about before
Have a
the
cigar.
yeah, it's his own cigar.
cigar.
And then he says, "I want that cigar back later on."
Remember I gave you a cigar? Yeah, I want it back.
When we were watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it was RK Maroon,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this was RH.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I know there was an RK Studios. So
But
someone
was there actually a studios? 'Cause
There
I
was
know
RKO Studios.
Okay, because in Roger Rabbit, I know it was RK.
RK Maroon.
Yeah, okay.
So someone should Google if RK and RH was like a real movie producer in the 20s. Because
Yeah,
they
look up RKO GIFs.
GIFs,
Or GIFs, or however you want to call it.
GIFs.
Just so you can, watch
Well, you're
Randy
the one who
Orton
looks
take
up
people
stuff.
out.
They keep asking me. I keep
Oh,
telling
God.
them to go after themselves.
RKO, I forgot about that association.
You ever seen Randy Orton RKO a shark?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have. RKO. Is that the best finish in wrestling?
Well, considering it's the diamond cutter all over again, but
Yeah.
yet it's more stylized.
No, like it's not Guess the Diamond Cutter. Like
It's pretty
it's
much
so
just
much
the
better
Diamond
than
Cutter.
the
It's
Diamond
a
Cutter.
it's Diamond Cutter.
It's a diamond cutter
It's
with
a Diamond
flair.
Cutter because DDP.
But it's better.
It is better, but even DDP had an interview
Yeah.
said that Orton asked him if he could use it, but change a little bit of it, right?
Like I know it's pretty much the same, but
Yeah.
like it's. Fuck,
Aside from DDP doing it on a top rope once, he never really did it out of nowhere. He just did it.
Yeah.
Whereas Randy Orton's stopped multiple finishers and counter with an RKO type thing. So
So,
Oh,
for
oh.
RKO Pictures, it still exists. It's
Does
Warner
it?
Bros.
really?
Warner
Oh.
Bros.
which is
So-
funny because Warner did this movie, I think.
Warner Bros. largely controls
This one?
the
Yeah.
rest of RKO Pictures LLC.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was. Which explains why it's on Crave.
Right? Yes. And,
Oh, yeah.
and it is actually located in Culver City.
But
Oh,
California.
okay.
was he a real person?
Yes.
What was his name?
You're making me look up that crap.
Well, you are the researcher.
Yeah, I do know they produced a couple of the Disney cartoons.
They did, yes.
Yeah, I think they did Rosebud, or not Rosebud.
Well, they probably did a lot of Looney Tunes because it's Warner Brothers. So
Well, no, because Warner Brothers themselves made Looney Tunes, but they bought out
RKO.
RKO.
yeah,
Well, not the end of it. He says like Rosebud, Citizen Kane. RKO did
okay.
Citizen Kane. I know. It was a huge studio in the 20s. Huge.
So it was initially owned by a merger of Keith Albee Orpheum and Radio Corporation of America,
So it wasn't a real person.
and later saw ownership shift to Howard Hughes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I still don't think that that's who they were talking about in those two movies. So
Most likely not, but
there had to have been a real person.
because in 1948 Howard Hughes takes over the CEO position of RKO, and he had it from then to to the time of its decline, which in 1955 it was bought out by General Tire and Rubber Company, and then later,
What?
yep,
Really?
yep,
What?
the General Tire and Rubber Company originally buys it in 1955, and then when the assets start going is when Warner Brothers takes
So you're
Professional
saying a
for
tire company couldn't maintain a picture studio?
Exactly.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Well, a Walkman company is struggling to keep the Spider-Verse alive. Like,
As
come
well
on.
they should. Give it back to Marvel.
Yes,
Yeah,
just
I'll-
give it back.
Especially, you hear about Vincent D'Onofrio's interview there?
No.
He said he can never be in an MCU project because he's considered a Spider-Man asset.
What?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
just
read
like
that. I
just
read
like
that
the
the
yeah,
other
just
day,
like the
too.
Venoms and the Cravens and all that stuff.
That is so ridiculous.
Because they only Marvel or MCU only purchased the rights to Spider-Man. Period.
Really?
So,
Well, then how come they got to use the villains then in Spider-Man's?
that might have been a possible exception too, but
Yeah, I guess there's a shared... They share it, right? Well, that means we're never going to see a Norman Osborn Dark Avengers storyline then.
there's a lot we're not going to see. Like Spider-Man and Norman Osborn, or not Norman Osborn, Wilson Fisk is massive, and we'll never see it. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we could see that.
Maybe,
That's like the one they could do.
maybe
You couldn't do Daredevil.
but it wouldn't be in the MCU though.
Yeah,
So-
they'd fudge that.
Yeah.
They'd have to share. They'd
Well,
have to
Sony
share.
is not exactly making a lot of money lately, so to see them go the route of Disney, like Fox, is not unheard of. Warner Brothers is kind of bleeding right now, so to see them sell off some of their IPs like DC to Disney seems very plausible.
There's going to be antitrust laws that are going to come into place
There's
eventually.
going to be
Because of monopolizing?
Disney's, yeah, because
Yeah.
they stopped them when they were acquiring. Who was the last studio they acquired? They were stopping. Yeah, thank you. That
Yeah.
was Fox was when they went overseas, and then the judges and stuff like that. They told them this is the last one you sees of a studio until the other companies can actually function. Not function, but have enough where they can.
And there was only
produce-
2 reasons they wanted Fox.
Yeah,
They
Well,
wanted the
needed those-
X-Men
yeah.
and they wanted Simpsons. Those are the only 2 reasons they wanted Fox. Like they wanted...
But they knew that they were going to monopolize it. That's why they went overseas. That's why they pushed them to overseas. Because overseas was a different courts. That's why.
Have you found a real-life RK or RH?
That's who it was. It was Howard Hughes. That's all it was.
It was Howard. That doesn't
Because
sound
the
correct.
what was that person?
That was after, though. That was like in the 40s. No.
Keith Albee Orpheum and
So
Radio
KO
Corporation.
and Radio Corporation, so RKO.
Yeah.
I just always presumed it was somebody with an R. I don't know. Yeah. The more you know. Howard Hughes is a fascinating person. Do you guys ever delve into him?
Did you watch his movie?
The Aviator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that too. Yeah.
That's why he sounded familiar.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen The Aviator, but I know
That's
of it.
a really good movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think his life in real life was more
Yeah.
interesting than the movie
Well,
was.
yeah,
like,
that too. Yeah.
like what was that? The Spruce Goose. Guess like that huge ass plane. Everybody told him that he's never gonna make any money. Everyone told him it would never work, and he just took like a flight in it just because everyone told him it couldn't fucking work, and I did it. Right? Like amazing. Oh. Did you guys laugh when you first heard the actress's voice in this one?
Yes. When she spoke, I'm like, wow, okay.
At least it wasn't her real voice.
Yeah.
I mean, in the movie we didn't know otherwise, but in real life it wasn't her real voice. So
And Corey was right about them working with Disney. In 1937, Disney and RKO released Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I said
Oh,
that,
okay.
not...
I was going to
Okay,
say
well,
that,
Jeff
was,
was
that was
right.
Jeff. I'm like, what did I say? I'm never right.
You were right once today.
No, twice.
That's my
Once!
cap for 2025.
It was like you're right about lots of stuff, just never the year, which
Yeah.
is funny because this is like twice it's
And the
happened.
only reason I knew that is because I was looking up the year right before you guys got here. So
They kind of, man, she was fucking delusional in this movie. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, we're dating. Like, that's what the tabloids are saying.
What do you think?
It's kind of dumb, so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that a few times.
Dumb.
Well, I love how she got her comeuppance in the end there, where like, no, we're gonna do this for everyone. She's gonna talk over me for every single one.
For the
She's
next
got
5 years.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
next 5 years, and then they literally pull the rug out from under her.
And she's like, I'm gonna speak. All right.
She was the only person in the entire cast nominated for an Oscar.
What?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Which is funny because considering how much of the weight that Debbie Reynolds took. Which, again, I mentioned this. I'm sure the good movie listeners who listen to us, the two people, know, but yeah, Debbie Reynolds is Carrie Fisher's mother.
Yep.
So there's a shot with Debbie Reynolds with her hair up on the side. Not quite the same, but either way. And I'm like, holy shit, that is definitely her mother.
What would you guys have thought if you're like just driving around, some fucking dude drops into your car? Like,
I didn't
no,
have a sunroof.
Right? Yeah, there's that too. You know? He just drops in it, be like, where the fuck did you come from? And you're repairing that, right?
you notice how he climbed up in the red car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually noticed like a lot of little Who Framed Roger Rabbit things because it's all set in the same era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, climbs up in the red car, jumps into her car. No wonder she thought he was a criminal. She really did change her tune once she found out that he was famous.
Yep. They always do, don't
Freaking women.
Yeah. I know. I'm a stage actress, and this, and it turns out she's a fucking floozy in a cake. Oh, there goes the popo.
Corey, they're coming to get you.
About time.
Danny's the ethnic minority here. If they're coming for anybody,
Yeah,
it's
if
Danny.
anybody's done the crime,
It's me.
No, it's not because he did the crime. It'd be like, no, the brown kid did it, and then we'll like.
Technically, it wouldn't work out because I'll be like, these guys, and
Oh yeah, there's reverse racism now. Fucking stupid reverse racism.
hashtag me too.
He'd be sitting there going, check her ringtone.
Go ahead.
Just change it to Scooby-Doo really quick.
I mean, my ringtone right now, I'm not even my text, but my ringtone right now was a theme star for a guy who murdered his family and killed himself. So,
Oh, Dexter?
no,
No.
Chris Benoit's theme.
Oh. Yeah, in real life.
Yeah.
That makes it more morbid.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking song, though.
Yeah, it is. Did I tell you about the concert for that? They brought it back.
Yeah, they're just like, we're taking this back.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
Well, it's how do you not get that association, though, right?
Yeah.
It's such a tragic thing that happened to that family. And he was like, I was a fan. Like Chris Benoit was my favorite wrestler.
Anyway.
Yeah.
if you were listening, no, it was his favorite wrestler, not the rest of us. They don't see.
You have to separate the artist from the person, right?
No, for sure you do.
Like, there's some terrible people, and he was one of the worst, out there in show business and the wrestling business, right?
But I don't want to get into that because it's just, yes, it was a terrible thing, but all the bouncing his head off the.
Yeah, turns out that's bad for your head.
That's bad for your head, and that could have been the result too, right? Like it's.
Well,
with alcohol.
Yeah, that too.
I don't like.
I don't want to. It's
you don't.
bad.
You don't want to make excuses.
Exactly. You don't want to make excuses, but.
But it is truthful. Like it is. It's a truthful.
They said he
thing.
had the brain of like a 90-year-old when they cut him open. So
it's wild.
Yeah, they said that's the worse than a football player when they get hit in the head. So that's just.
That's why they have to wear helmets.
Well, that's true.
well, and most bumps taken in wrestling with your head, you lead with your arms.
Yeah.
And he never did.
No.
So
it was straight. Yeah.
What one of his finishers is the flying headbutt. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Hogan. Like his spine is fucked from all his leg drops. So
I laughed at Hogan's spine as fuck because he was like the gentlest guy in the ring.
That was Andre.
No, Andre could take some bumps for a guy his size. Hogan never took any bumps.
no.
No,
'Cause he
that
didn't
doesn't
want to.
work for me,
Yeah.
brother. That's another guy who's a piece of shit in real life, right?
Yeah, well, after all the scandals and stuff like that, and everything opened up about him, yep.
When Brooke started dating a black guy.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, we're really
off this
off topic now.
So, Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain.
So that song, Singing in the Rain,
Had
which like
nothing to do
we
with
said
that
had
movie.
nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah.
It was a fun little piece though. I liked how, he's just there with his umbrella, just kidding, pulls the umbrella down, starts dancing without it. He's getting soaked.
Oh, yeah, he was drenched.
And there's like people running by with newspapers over their heads and umbrellas and everything like that. And he's just splashing in the water, having a gay old time. And freaking the cop then shows up and he's just like, And he's like, I'm dancing and singing in the rain. And then he gives his umbrella to like the passerby and walks
Runs.
away. Yeah.
He ran.
Whatever, yeah.
He ran.
But yeah, he got so sick.
There was a lot of dancing in this movie, eh?
It turns out.
Turns out.
Gene
Lot of
Autry,
tap
Gene Autry.
dancing.
Gene Kelly is a very accomplished dancer. So
Did you guys, it almost felt like there was like a bunch of different movies spliced together, which was kind of the funny thing because that was what the movie was about, splicing another movie
yeah,
piece together. Because like they had the Singing in the Rain and it felt so out of place. And then they had like that Broadway scene where he's wearing like the yellow vest and that was like a fucking acid trip. I was like, what the fuck is
that
going
was
on?
the Broadway ballet group too.
When
Yeah.
they go
So-
through the yellow vest and the candy stripper outfits and
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a production in its own. That was a mini movie in its own.
Yeah.
My son came out during that scene and he's just like, what are you watching, Dad? I can't turn away. And there's like that one scene where all the people are on the conveyor belt. And it's just kind of like, okay. And this movie, it works, doesn't it? Like, it works with all these random stuff spliced together.
I wouldn't say it works, but at the same time, it made for an entertaining movie.
Well, when you read what
But it
the
works in
movie's
that era.
actually
Yeah.
about, everything that they put in and how it doesn't fit works.
Yeah, because it's about a movie.
It's about multiple movies that they're making.
Yeah,
Yep.
because they literally made that scene for the movie they made because the movie didn't work the way they made it. Which makes me wonder if, like, Singing in the Rain was supposed to be a different movie.
No, that's because they stayed up all night.
Some of the pitches that his buddy was giving there were something else.
Oh, his buddy had some.
The first one he says, I can't remember, it's like, I'm making you a screenwriter. Yay. And that's when he gives him the cigar and everything like that. And then he gives him that other idea. I'm going to give you a raise.
Remind me to.
Yeah, remind me to give you a raise. Hey, RH, what? Give me a raise.
His buddy's got some, like, great athletic ability. Like, you see when he's, like, doing the flips off the wall, he's, like, running up the wall doing the flips.
So why wasn't his buddy in the movies with him?
Because
His buddy was in the movies.
He was a sound effect guy. He was the
He's
music.
not actually in the movie.
Well, I guess. He was
I
like the
guess he
supporting.
Yeah, he wasn't in the Dancing Duelist. Was it called the Dancing
They
Duelist?
ended up changing it to the Dancing Duelist. Yes.
Yeah. The Duelist part sounded wrong to me.
Yeah, I know. It was Dancing.
The Dancing Cavalier.
That's
Yeah.
Dancing Cavalier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it and then
Yeah, because before it was the Dueling Cavaliers.
Yeah, the Dueling
Dancing,
Cavaliers.
Dancing,
Yeah.
dancing Cavaliers. Yeah.
Oh. I love the Make 'em Laugh song. Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. That was the dance scene I really enjoyed.
And the whole time, seriously, I was watching that one and I'm going, I gotta pause this. I gotta get up. I gotta.
My brain.
And my brain was shot. But like I said, 5 hours to watch an hour and 20 minute movie. So we had a problem. A little bit of a problem.
I laughed so hard when he jumped through the wall by accident because he's doing like the little running up the
Flips.
wall, doing the flips,
Yep.
running up the wall, doing the flips, running up, boom, right through the fucking wall.
Yeah, at least he didn't get hurt.
No.
I bet
Turns out we didn't know the 1929s.
Right. Okay.
Who knew?
So we're too young to have it bring back nostalgia like that. But apparently, Danny and I have watched more classic movies than you two.
Have you?
That's a really low bar.
It sounds like it. Because we say Taming of the Shrew, you say 10 Things I Hate About You.
I hate Shakespeare, so.
But that's because 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming of the Shrew.
No.
Just like.
No, but it is, literally. Like it's,
No, because the premises of Taming of the Shrew is a con artist who marries a noblewoman with the idea that he could tame her and make her the ideal wife.
Do you
10
think
Things I Hate About
do
You
you think
has
she's
nothing
watched
to
10
do about
Things I Hate
that.
About You? Like, that's exactly what happens.
He marries her and tames her?
Wow, it's a modern.
Except for he goes out
tames
with
her.
she goes out with him, and they tame each other, kind of. Like they each bring something to the table that betters the other person. So
He tames her.
I would say she tames him.
No, he definitely does the taming in that show.
New argument.
I did this movie, so
Yeah, we're not doing it again.
It's just a platform to start out for classic movies, okay?
so
I should have just picked Casablanca.
yeah. I was gonna say, so that was your pick. Whose pick is next week?
Mine.
It's Jeff's.
Oh my!
He gave us what he was gonna do,
I'm gonna do a Hitchcock movie.
and you were
Yeah,
okay
but
with it.
not the one he picked.
Oh,
Have you ever seen North by Northeast?
No, but it's not the style that I
I
generally like with him. Although it is espionage-ish.
It's okay. So you've never seen this movie or know anything about it, but you know you don't like it.
Correct.
That checks out. That checks out.
In a world of Zack Snyder versus James Gunn, no, you don't have to see a movie for people to claim it's bad, and I'm not that guy. I'm excited for the movie. So. But
He just knows he doesn't like it.
yeah. No, like I said, if I could pick Hitchcock, I would pick Rear Window or The Birds or Psycho. Or,
oh, I said Psycho to him yesterday.
Psycho was not going to be my pick. Rear Window or Vertigo were very close, but I think North by Northeast is the one I want to see. So, but yeah,
And that was-
we're talking about Singing in the Rain.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was Jimmy Stewart too.
Yeah.
So
Because apparently Corey is.
me, yeah.
Should we take a small commercial break and head into final thoughts? Because we have so many thoughts on this movie.
Yeah.
Totally. We're prepared.
So I guess, as always, I have to ask, where are we putting it in the video store? Do we have a musical section?
I am vetoing a music section.
So we can't pick this as a musical.
No. I'm vetoing it as it being an actual section.
Okay.
So
This
So-
time?
So
Or
there,
permanently.
permanently,
Okay. So there isn't a musical.
there is
section.
now.
Oh, there is one. Okay.
Yeah,
You're vetoing that there isn't?
is one.
Oh, is one.
So
Yeah.
you're voting that.
You're
there is.
voting, not
Because
veto.
to veto means
That
that,
that's- You're kicking
But
it out.
then,
Yes.
but that opens up a big can of worms. Like, what if we
Can I
like?
change my vote on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, this is the can of worms you're opening right here, Corey.
Guardians of the Galaxy was not a musical.
This is true.
They didn't sing once in it. He danced 2 songs,
There we go.
but there was no
and it
singing.
was damn good songs too. So
In the
musical.
Christmas one, actually,
he does sing.
there is singing. Kevin Bacon sings in the Christmas one.
He does.
He does, yeah. Yes, he does.
Okay.
The only movie out of all the movies we've done that would change the vote then is Repo.
Yeah, because Repo is technically a musical.
Yep. It's a rock opera.
I think Repo was like a big reason why we didn't have a musical section, because we had to pick a genre for that, and
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
fair to put it into musical, right?
So did we get a musical or no?
I think we should have musical as a section and then, yeah.
Except for they're gonna disagree.
They're going to.
Yeah.
He's gonna veto.
Because from now on, whenever Jeff puts something in horror that doesn't belong in horror, I'm gonna put it in musical.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is not a musical.
Remember that Family Guy where Peter had to fake his death? So they got the other guys to do it. And it's like he was eaten by a Tyrannosaurus. They put it on the video. Na, 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 na.
So Jurassic Park is a musical.
I guess.
Also, I sold all 3 Jurassic Park movies today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
He didn't. I almost, but not quite convinced him for it to be a horror. So
yeah. At least the first one.
yeah.
At least the first one.
I'm
But all
gonna come
3
in
went, so.
with musical notes and start sticking them on all the horror movies.
Did you sell the trilogy? Because you had the trilogy pack.
Oh, I sold that a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But I had 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. And then I sold the original It with them too. So
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That was a good sell.
yeah, it was $8. No, sorry, $13 because it was more. So
Well, it was a good buy for them, I think.
yeah, it was.
So, Corey, what genre is this?
Horror. No, just kidding.
It was horrific acting.
Actually, it kind of was.
I think the
I
acting
respected the acting for what the movie was. So
Yeah, a 1950s.
yeah.
I don't want to say musical, but
I
like
think we
the
should have a
1950s
tap
musical.
section.
You should have a what section?
A tap section. Because they did
Yes,
a lot
they
of
did a lot of
tapping.
tap
They did a
dancing.
lot of tapping.
Either way,
Like
because
to
of
your
this
point,
whole
like where the fuck did they get it when he was in the rain? Like
Yeah.
how did he
Where
get?
did you hear
walking.
Yeah.
That's not how sound works. But in the movie, all about dubbing, it made sense.
Man, they did a lot of tap dancing in this movie. Like a lot of tap dancing.
But yeah, if it was just dancing, it'd be different. But no, this is the first entry in musical.
I feel like that's a cop out. That's a cop out answer.
It's a cop out answer.
Yeah, but I'll allow it. Still a cop out though.
And what do you pick? Musical? What?
You'll be like, musical.
Laura, where would you put this in the video store?
I'm really tempted to go horror just to piss you off. No.
You
So
make an argument for it.
You have to defend your answer.
Yeah, you have to defend your answer.
Which
Because
apparently
Jeff-
is hard on some people.
Because
so.
Jeff thinks Jurassic Park is a horror movie. There you go.
I have defended my answer.
Unfortunately, successfully.
I'm very. I try to be very persuasive.
He wrote a lot in there when I read that, and I'm like, that's just horrible.
Ask
like-
the Cubs. Because they agreed with me.
That it's not a horror,
That is not a horror movie.
but is Singing in the Rain a horror movie?
You know, you should have a poll like that and go around town. Is this really a horror? I put it on the website.
I put it on the Facebook page. So
We'll do the TikTok. You know how they do like the man on the street? Yeah, we're here with the database cameras trying to figure out if Jurassic Park's a horror.
yes,
That can be your question and answer at Jaywalkers.
Oh,
yes. I'll put a
Yes.
whiteboard or something
Yes, do it. Do it.
oh, there you go.
for $160 for a tent. I should have some fun. So
Right? So, actually, watching the movie, yes, it is a musical, but I would put it under romance.
Really?
romance isn't a heading.
It is so.
If you type into it, it says it's a romance over a musical.
But we've never used like wedding.
We've
singer.
never used musical before either.
I know,
Exactly.
but you didn't say anything about creating a new title.
You put it under drama.
Fine, it's a drama.
There you go.
Was this the first rom-com?
No.
I doubt that very much.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I was trying to think of like an older romantic comedy because there were a lot of romance that
There
were
was,
very
yeah.
comedic, and there were a lot of comedies, but I couldn't think of another romantic comedy. And I guess it was a pretty big romance movie, right? So,
Yeah, I'll be over the top, but yeah.
Yeah.
am I onto something there, or am I on glue, Laura?
You kind of are, except for it was 2 years later. The movie was called Girl Shy.
The first rom-com? Mm-hmm. Well, this technically predates 2 years after it.
Sorry, this one's... Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So
What year
the
did that
first-
one come out?
I can't math today, okay?
54?
So Girls... No,
No.
30 years before, actually. Girl Shy came out in 1924, and it was the first silent movie that was actually labeled as a romantic comedy.
Oh, you said 2 years.
Yeah, I said I can't math today, too. It's
like,
Monday.
Mathing is a difference between 2 years and 30 years.
It's Monday!
She's having difficulties. Damn it, you guys.
I'm not saying I'm making fun of you, but at the same time, I'm making
I
fun
feel
of
like
you.
they're making fun.
They
But it's
totally
alright.
are. That's okay. I make fun of Jeff on like a daily basis, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
slowly
Corey.
dying on the inside.
Self-esteem's overrated.
Uh,
Said self-esteem is overrated.
You need self-esteem.
what about you, Danny? Where does this land in the movie store for you?
Probably it's a musical for me too.
Probably
No,
a musical.
It's
Eh?
a musical. A lot of
You
music.
don't feel like that's a cop-out answer?
It really isn't. There was a lot of singing. There was a lot
There
of
was
dancing.
a lot of singing. And a lot of
If we
dancing.
had a place for just tapping, I'd be like, it's under tapping.
You know what? Corey invented musical.
Musical.
Laura invented romance. You may as well invent a tab section.
Tap section it is. By the end of the day.
So far we've got it's a musical, we've got it's a romance, and
There's
it's
a
tap.
lot of Shirley Temple movies that we're going to tap.
All right, now it's your turn. What are you gonna
What section are you
Yeah, what,
making out, Jeff?
what new one are you making?
I was initially going to put it into comedy, and I'm grasping at straws here to like. I feel like I'm not being very inventive. It's like yes, comedy. Sorry guys, I'm not inventing a new one.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah. Next time, if I knew we were going to go into this inventing new categories, I would have had a list.
It helps. We literally just went with it.
I mean, some video stores have musical as
Yes.
heading.
Yep.
You don't have to defend your answer. You already have.
I honestly didn't even defend it once. So that's the thing. I didn't even say because there was a lot of singing. I just said it was a musical, and I ended my argument.
You pressured everybody else
Fair.
to it. Right?
You did. You said that we had to defend it, so therefore mine's a romance, and you said it didn't work that way, so fine, it's a drama.
He said it didn't work that way.
No,
both
you
did.
said it didn't work out because I said musical, and then he said what? Fine, then tap.
No, I stick with comedy because it's a comedy.
It's definitely, if I had to pick a genre, a pre-established genre, it would be comedy. So
Drama. Just because of that blonde.
I was gonna say, what's
Well,
dramatic
the
about it?
blonde gets hit with a pie in the face, so that it's sad,
That's like quintessential slapstick comedy.
right? Yeah, that's every comedy, yeah.
Oh,
I like the comedy too.
I love how she thought she lost her job because she threw a pie at that girl's face. Nobody likes Squeaky Voice in this movie.
No.
Yeah, everyone kind of fucking hated her.
It's not what she sounded like in the movie.
Remember me when I killed your brother? I sounded just like this.
I don't remember the buzzsaw hand. It's singing in the rain though.
I can't help you forgot the best part.
No, don't do that. That's Carrie Fisher's mom.
It's just gonna go home and have nightmares.
Of Jurassic Park.
And the buzzsaw hand.
And the buzz.
You know, now that
Or
I
a
think,
T-Rex with a buzzsaw.
How the hell would
His
that
little
be?
arms.
It'd be the-
I killed your brother.
Come closer.
My arm is so tiny. It's like a little see.
I saw this meme once, and it was like the most adorable and kind of sad thing, and it showed
Why T-Rexes have bad first dates?
and he shows like two T-Rexes sitting on a couch together, and the one reaches out to put his arm around, and he couldn't reach, so he puts his hand back and he just hangs his head in shame. It was so sad.
What's that one kid's cartoon? It's a movie. They go back. He goes back and gets him from the future. He takes him there, and the one scientist has the T-Rex, and we'll get him. I can't, and my head's too big, and my arms are too short.
We're back.
No, not we're back.
Okay.
We can't, because yeah, I have flippers. It is flippers. It's flipping useless.
Do you guys think that T-Rex didn't actually have arms, but they had like little chicken wings? Because they're descendants of chickens.
Now I'm gonna think of T-Rex with freaking feathers and like chicken wings.
That's. I think they've actually proven that's kind of what they look like.
Well, they did look like this, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So like it
yeah, it's
to
not,
go from this,
you just got to rotate the rotator cuff.
Yeah.
So,
like it probably actually was wings.
although at the same time, if they were using their claws on something, they would be like this.
Yeah.
Meet the Robinsons.
Oh, I've never seen it.
I did a long time ago, like when it came out.
It's like this.
It looks stupid, but I heard it's good.
He puts like this brain control thing on the T-Rex, and he tells him to get the boy. He's like, I can't. My head's too big and my arms are too small. And then he mind controls frogs.
Obviously.
This movie sounds like a fever dream.
No.
Much like the Broadway scene in Singing in the Rain.
But the movie's not a fever dream.
Both that movie and Meet the Robinsons, or not Meet the Robinsons, sorry, Monster House.
Yes!
Monster.
Yeah, Monster House was like a.
Meet the Robinsons.
Is this a
was just
horror
like Meet
movie
the
or is this a
Robinsons.
cartoon? Yeah.
There was a lot of scared kids with that one. The house is gonna eat me. Probably. Go ring the doorbell.
We had a bunch of kids watching Monster House. I think it was for a Taekwondo thing. And like they had to turn
crap!
it off.
I remember that one.
Yeah, was it a scout thing or
It
was it
was.
at the
No, that was the scout thing. That's when we did it at
Dirkson's for Halloween?
Yeah.
And we had to turn it off because it was like too much for some of the kids.
It was scaring the crap out of the kids. They're like, I want to go home. I don't want to watch this. Okay, we'll watch a different movie. That one's going to give me nightmares. You know, I only brought Halloween movies, right?
It only gets worse
Let me
from here.
introduce you to John Carpenter.
You could have put on the first Halloween and they would have went to bed. Like, that movie was kind of boring, guys.
That said, John Carpenter just got a star in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he did. That's right.
I hear that they're a bit of a scam because you kind of got to pay for
They're
it.
totally a
You do.
scam.
Oh, they're
Who's anybody can get a star as long as they have $1 million.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
So there's people who have like no talent, but they have money, so they gave themselves a star.
Oh.
Like what was great with Adam West is Ralph Garman, that Kevin Smith podcast buddy there.
Yeah.
He's such a huge Adam West fan that he actually did an organization that raised the money for Adam West so he'd get a star.
Really?
So
See, something like that's different and worth it. But yeah, there's a lot of actors and actresses, musicians, and you have stars, and you're like, who the hell are you?
yeah.
Like,
What? Coming back to Singing in the Rain, did you realize that was the theater that they opened up their movie in, eh?
yep.
Was that famous Chinese theater in...
Well, the Chinese theater was what it was. That was what that was. That was the big theater. Hence why it was called a theater. But then it shut down as a theater and became what it was. So
What is it now?
it's literally just a tourist trap now.
They don't ever show movies there?
They may, but even the Kodak Theater next door was where the Oscars is held every year. Kodak went under, so they changed the name, but they aren't. I don't know if they're doing the Oscars there anymore or not, but
Really?
yeah, I've been to that strip. I've walked that strip before, so
I didn't know that's where they did the Oscars every year.
yeah.
That must be huge in there.
It doesn't look that big. That's the thing, but
Really?
it must be. So
I assume they're still doing it in there.
yeah, I can't. I've never heard anything about a venue change, so I assume as
No, I
much.
assume,
but
yeah.
That blows me away that they don't do movies at that famous Chinese theater anymore. Because that was where you went for your premieres back in the day. And I thought they still did big movies there. Like, I could see them making their money back just on big premieres.
Yeah, well, it could very well be just needs to be condemned, and they just haven't done it type thing.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, it would.
considering how old it is. So.
Yeah, it was in the 1920s
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Singing in the Rain.
Oh,
Nothing.
Actually, yeah, no, they still hold the Oscars there. They just changed the name.
Okay.
What's the name now?
The Dolby Theater.
Oh,
Oh, they went
okay.
from Kodak to Dolby, eh?
It's still a digital print company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not that Kodak was digital back then, but still.
I remember hearing a story about how Kodak had the chance to go digitals. One of their it was a Kodak employee that invented digital capture, and he presented it to them, and they didn't want it. Like, they made so much money off of film that they thought this was going to kill them, So they told him, no, we don't want your idea, and he sold it off to someone else.
Cough, cough, Blockbuster, and Netflix.
Well, that's a little bit different story though, because what got Blockbuster was the economic crash of '08, right?
Well, granted, but the fact that they had a chance to buy and they had the money to buy Netflix, and they're like, nah, this isn't going to amount to anything.
And now it's a global juggernaut.
But back then, it was still DVD by mail only, so
Well, yes.
really, it wasn't going to amount to anything.
No, but then now it's.
But
At Netflix, that was starting to be a thing at that time.
starting, but that's when then Star Choice and all those companies, because Star Choice bought Blockbuster in the U.S. When Canada went up for sale, and then they ended up shutting them all down, except for that one, which in my opinion is still not a Blockbuster, but anyway.
But they just licensed it, right?
Yeah, it's literally a tour store. It's a video store. It's legit, but they just slap Blockbuster signage up, and that's it. So, which I guess makes it, but they don't have the rewards program. They don't have the program.
You know what I just realized, Corey? If you wanted to,
I could change my name to Blockbuster.
you could buy the licensing for Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Then people would expect you to rent out movies.
Yeah.
Would you rent out movies if you
No.
were Blockbuster? You really don't want the hassle of renting, eh?
No. The only time I was thinking about this actually the other day. Why are we so anyway?
Went to our podcast. We do that all the time.
Yeah. The only time I was considering doing rentals was like with friends.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as much as I enjoyed doing it, which I really didn't, I don't want to do your late calls. I really don't want to.
You're selling most of the movies for $5 or for $2.
$2, yeah.
So if you just rent
Maybe
it
if
off,
I just tell people, yeah, it's $2 rental, and then see how many of them actually get back.
yeah,
So,
$2. Don't
be
rent out every
surprised.
movie for $2.
You'll be surprised at how many come back.
yeah, well, that's unfortunate because then I'll have to constantly be re-merchandising.
Yes.
You could make like a small rental section. $1 rental? A $2 rental? You can make a $2 rental section. They come back, great. If they don't, yeah.
I'm not.
I
doing that.
honestly think that is a good business model, Corey. But anyway, Danny, final thoughts on Singing in the Rain?
Oh no, we're talking about Blockbuster now.
I know Blockbuster's a long ways from Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly.
It really is. What the? Wasn't ready for it at all. You can go first.
Oh,
Just
shit. It was singing in the rain. I
That's-
don't know.
This is some good in-depth thoughts,
Whose
guys.
idea was to do classical movies again?
well, it was
I
ours.
think you and me were talking.
You
about
guys, yeah. Then I
I
thought it was a good
refuse to
idea.
take ownership of this.
Yeah, it was you two.
Yeah.
I should have went with Catherine
Sorry,
Blanchett. Classic music.
No, you two what? What were you going to say?
Nothing.
Okay.
I think he was gonna call you fuckers.
it. What? Swearing on this podcast?
I did it off the hop already, so.
Did we not even make her 20 seconds?
No shit, no, we
Damn
didn't.
it.
No, he slid that fuck right in there.
If you missed it, that's on you.
That's all right. We're here to appease our one fan, so.
Yeah,
I thought it was two.
Might be
We got like 50 listens on the YouTube. We're doing good.
Actually, we have, I think it was Conan, Andrew showed me. It was like 419 views.
Nice.
I'm sure they were like 30 seconds long, but it's not the point.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
Still,
That 400 views is nothing to sniff at on YouTube.
No?
Yeah. But I need someone to start final thoughts here. Okay. You guys need me to go first?
I'll
Is
go because since I never got a chance to truly watch this front to back, but I went online and I searched up as much clips and as much breakdowns and as much spoilers and even the official Hollywood trailer for this movie was practically the movie. It was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I watched it.
And it was really good and actually helped me. I get filled in a lot of the holes. So like I said, I feel I've watched
I watched a 5-minute trailer. I've practically seen the movie.
I don't think that's what
Well, you
we're
got
at.
notes just like you the last time, so.
But either way, so from what I saw and putting pieces together and everything like that, it set out to do what it wanted to do. It was poking fun at the silent film turning to talkie, And it was, like you said, it was meta, and it had a lot of singing, which, again, I hate musicals. Well, except for that one, but either way. And I don't know, I think it succeeded at what it was trying to do. The acting was overacted, but that was on purpose. That was the style. And it was a well-done movie, all things considered. But it's hard to give it a fair rating seeing I haven't seen it all. But what I did see, it's a solid, like, 3.75.
Mm-hmm. There was funny, the one scene where the jazz singer was coming out, and they poke fun at Warner Brothers. They go, oh, Warner Brothers are going to lose their shirt on this. Warner Brothers are going to lose their shirt. They're making the jazz singer. Talking movies, no one wants to watch a talking movie. Like, and that was the mentality at the time, right?
Because they were afraid of change.
Yep. I can't believe that was where, like, oh, no way. I remember I was listening to a thing about Snow White. They never thought anybody would ever watch a full-length cartoon either, right? Like,
Let alone it was the first color cartoon.
Yep.
So,
You know, the way they thought everything was going to be back then, it's crazy because we guess have accepted this is the world now, right?
holy shit. 90 years this year for Snow White.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Yeah, because it was 1935. So.
Wow.
Oh, that is wild.
It's like the irony of the whole first song on MTV.
No, video killed the radio star?
Yeah.
I think that was a conscious decision.
I think so too, but it was still ironic. So
Was that about Meatloaf?
I don't think so.
Do you know that, Laura? Was Video Killed the Radio Star about Meatloaf?
No.
I thought it was. Since you two aren't ready for your final thoughts, I guess I'll give my final thoughts. 2.5 is what you said for your rating?
No,
3.75.
3.7.
3.75, which is slightly higher than I expected you to give it.
Again, I can respect a movie even if I don't like it. So
I wanted to give it a Temple of Doom with half a Raiders.
but
It was pretty good. Yeah, that's what I'm not. No buts. That's what I'm saying with it.
we said I wanted to.
You just said you wanted to. That's
Yeah, I wanted to, so I'm doing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, all right.
Instead of saying I'm going to give it, you said I wanted to, as in you had an
I wanted
alternative.
to, and I am.
Okay.
Okay. He gave his rating.
Good
He
talk.
wanted to. That's
Good
what
talk.
he wanted to.
Good
All
talk.
right.
Good game out there, kid.
Good game. Yes. Thank you.
We really pulled it together, guys. I thought the acting was pretty good. I thought I liked the meta-ness for a movie like that. The storyline wasn't amazing, but it was a product of its time. I actually didn't mind the musical numbers, and I thought it had really, really good production value for its age, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see the 50s go back to the 20s. I guess that it melts my brain a little bit thinking about it, but we've talked about nostalgia ad nauseum here, like how they keep going back to the 80s. It's the same thing back then, right? It gets everything old is new again, no matter what generation. Laura and Danny, do you guys have time to think about your final thoughts?
I like the parachute pants.
Can't touch this.
Shit. Okay. Well,
Comfort level, I get it.
it's damn right. I like
Yeah,
that.
these things are so roomy.
Oh, nice. Not nowadays. All right. Well, I'm gonna rate it 3.9.
Oh, that's pretty high.
It is pretty high.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Well, then that's not so high.
I myself, I like this. It was not too bad a movie. I'm on same as Corey. I really don't like musicals, but this one only.
You picked this movie.
Hey! I wanted to see it.
Well, that's fair though.
I wanted
That
to
is
see
fair.
it. I wanted to see it and see how it went. Like I said, it's not really my thing to watch either. But the only song I liked was "Singing in the Rain," so that was about it.
You didn't like Gotta Dance.
Not really.
Nope.
Not really. No, just singing in the rain. The acting was really good. I liked it. It wasn't top acting, but it was all right.
Gene Kelly could not fucking stop smiling in this movie. Like,
Thank you. I was gonna go next to that too. There was a lot of smiling, a lot of tapping. If anybody likes tapping, watch this movie.
Well, it is the first movie we're putting in the tap section.
Damn right it is.
I feel it might be the only movie. That
What about this
I don't
large
know.
collection of Shirley
Did
Temple?
you
we're
guys
doing?
watch White Christmas? There's a lot of tapping.
No.
in that one.
I have never seen.
I've
White
never
Oh
seen
my-
that. All right, well, we're here for your final thoughts now.
I feel like I've watched more classic movies than all of you guys.
Well, that's kind of a lie.
I watched,
Kinda.
Wow, I haven't watched it for a while, but
What White Christmas? So
well,
you've
the White
seen-
Christmas I haven't seen. That one's the only one I probably haven't seen.
Okay, well I'll give you a slide on that one.
Okay,
These two, no.
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 like, why would I ever watch White Christmas? Give me a reason to watch White Christmas.
Because you have parents and they would have watched it.
You know, my parents kind of like modern movies. My mom's favorite movies like the Jason Bourne movies.
Now,
Well,
when you were a kid, that wouldn't have been.
my mom did not like old movies when I was, you know, she liked modern movies.
My mom liked old movies,
Did she?
westerns and stuff like that too.
My mother liked 80s movies, so we watched a lot of 80s, but girly 80s movies. So I grew up being the younger boy. Like
That
I was.
explains so much.
Yeah, I was just sitting next.
But,
That's what
I
I was
mean,
gonna say.
I grew up hearing Dirty Dancing on end. I grew up with Mannequin. I grew up with like Princess Bride, like all these type of movies that weren't necessarily geared towards males. That I have a soft spot for. Like I thought Mannequin's a lot of fun, and I thought Dirty Dancing was good for what it was, for the fact that I can't stand Patrick Swayze. Like, yeah, so.
See, and realistically, like, yeah, no, Jeff, you have a point. Because my mom wouldn't have watched all those movies, but my grandparents did. And that's where I watched Taming with the Shrew and The King and I and White Christmas and all of them. It was grand, 100%.
Yeah,
So
I
I loved them. Rating this movie, though, that's a tough one. It literally took me 5 hours to watch it, so it gets a 1 out of 5 for me.
Hey. As our
1 out of
resident
10?
classic movie watcher, even.
Yeah,
1 out of 10.
it was.
5.
There was two.
What did you just?
She said 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
So
So
mine
it's
was-
like 20%, not a 10%.
Right? So there was just singing. Okay, singing was fine. There was too much tap. Way too much.
There was a lot of tap in this movie.
You kind of by halfway through the movie, you're thinking, "Where's the hammer and nails?" Because you just want to nail their feet to the floor.
But like he says, gotta dance.
Well, you can dance without tap,
Apparently not if you're Gene Kelly.
or doing that movie. And I still want to know where they were doing all the singing in the rain.
On the street.
Once.
Yeah.
And the billboard sign. Sorry.
Well, and the beginning.
The only relevant song in that whole movie, like Corey said earlier, was Good Morning because, you know, they used it for a Viagra commercial.
Good
Yeah.
morning, good morning.
We
We're off.
talked the whole through. Good morning to you.
I still do like one thing before I forget. It's the driving scene. Have you noticed the driving scene when you watch TV shows and movies? It never changes the background. It's different cars. I like that. That was pretty cool.
Used to be back then the rotating screen.
Yeah.
So
And then you watch some, like I watch some TV and it's like, oh, hey, look, not real cars. But then they pull over and
even Big Bang Theory, like the few times they
Yeah,
were in Leonard's car there.
yeah, you see,
It was
it's
so
like,
fake. So
yeah.
When they're running up there with cardboard.
Yeah.
I think in Big Bang Theory that was like a purposeful decision though.
oh yeah,
Like,
it was Chuck Lorre is a nostalgic. So
Yeah.
well, and that works for a show like Big Bang Theory, right?
yeah.
Oh. Well,
All right.
it definitely wasn't the smash hit I thought. Like nobody loved this movie here. Eh?
No.
I thought it was fine enough. Like You know?
I just wanted to watch it, and I watched it now. So I haven't watched it. I'm
Well,
not gonna do it.
And then I thought, what the fuck was I thinking?
That's
Legitimately, yes.
That's
like,
what this month is about, though. This month is about doing movies that we've always been curious about and we've never seen, right? Or like...
Can I open up my heart and spoil something?
Sure.
I've never actually seen the 1931 Dracula.
Really?
I've seen bits of it.
Oh, I think I've just been stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's why I had to buy it when I got it the price. I got it for $9 on Blu-ray, so I jumped on it.
I feel like the last 2 years has been a lie, Corey. Because I feel like you've talked ad nauseum about,
Well, again, I've watched
about
enough
that
clips.
classic
So
Dracula.
I think I've literally just been stabbed.
Wow. So, like, what if you hate it?
is this like fanboys?
Yeah, it
This
is.
movie sucks.
Yeah.
Then it is what it is. But the problem with me is when I go in with a mindset I'm going to love something, I do everything in my mind to take the flaws in it and spin them around. So
That's not.
no, it's not, but it's what I do. So
But if you want to enjoy something, why not let you enjoy it, right?
yeah. But like I said, I've been meaning to watch it. I remember the video store had the classic horror movie, Universal Studio horror movie set, but it was $90 and I just didn't have the money. And then I saw it at Walmart for like $80 and I just didn't have the money. And so then I was going through my my movie distributors and they had the Blu-ray for Just Dracula for like $9. I'm like, yes, I will buy that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I bought 4K Bram Stoker's Dracula. So,
That's
Oh,
Gary
nice.
Oldman one, right?
yeah.
Nice.
Well, Laura, things slowed down at your work?
I'm not commenting on that because then things blow up and I end up in fucking Ogden in Calgary.
You're in Cal?
I had to drive down to Calgary Friday afternoon to go pick up a piece for the hot water tank.
Nobody had it here?
Nope.
They
So
didn't do shipping.
well, they do, but here's the problem. Our hot water tank blew Thursday night. The thermocoupler went on it. And
You couldn't find a thermocoupler in town?
not for an industrial hot water tank.
None of the plumbers in town had one?
Nope. So the plumber that I had come in, he called every plumbing store that he could think of. And the closest one that had it was MCO Shipping and Distributor in Calgary.
There was
That's-
the Edmonton branch didn't have it?
Nope. And the only one out of 3 distributor MCOs in Calgary that had it was the one in Ogden. So I found myself in Ogden,
I don't know where Ogden is.
over by Chinook Mall.
Oh, okay.
So I found myself in Ogden in Calgary Friday afternoon.
Is Chinook Mall, that the one off of Glenmore?
Yes.
Okay, that's a nice mall.
It is a nice mall. Shit end of town.
My grandpa's from that end, so.
Well, Chinook itself isn't
Backpedal.
when you think of it.
Actually,
Chinook-
my grandpa's passed there.
Oh,
You guys-
so
really
he's better
backpedal.
off. Because
my
so
grandpa's further
here's
west.
Chinook Mall, literally 2 blocks north, or east actually. You enter Ogden. That's where I was. Chinook, not bad. Ogden, shit. Mm-hmm. I moved out of there for a reason. But yeah, so that's where I ended up on Friday. So I haven't had a day off in a while. So it was really nice to get out of work before 4 today.
Nice.
Yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But otherwise, I'm not commenting on work because something's going to blow up if I do. And not in a fun way. It means I'll have to go repair it.
Yeah.
Danny, how are things going for you, buddy?
They're good. I started holidays yesterday, so I'm on
You
them.
suck, Daddy.
That's why I didn't want to say it after she just talked. I'm like, I don't want to say that
You know all the work you're doing? He's not. So,
for a week.
You're allowed to hit him, Laura. Full permission.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. She's like, man, should I tell her off for a week? I'm not working.
I hate you, Danny.
Sorry.
I actually don't. You deserve the break. I
Yeah,
can't.
you've earned it.
Right?
You've earned it. You haven't having a proper vacation. What, 2 years? You're telling me?
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at literally 7 weeks, and then I'm gone for 4 days. So
Oh, see, there you go.
his May long's coming, and I'm not sticking around.
And the second week of June. It's weekend in June.
Yeah, but see, I get to get away before that.
Yeah. But I'm
Something that you guys still haven't planned.
I mean, we've kind of planned. We just
Literally,
gotta
all I
phone
need to
them
know
out.
is where I'm going
Yeah.
and how much booze I'm allowed to bring.
As much
Haunted
as you
Lakes,
want.
Alex.
Where?
Haunted Lakes.
Sweet, I'm gonna go look
Right.
for ghosts.
We'll have one. It'll be Corey when we.
Yeah, right?
I'm bringing out a Ouija board.
Sweet. That would be amazing. I've never done one. I've always wanted to.
You've never done. Wow.
They're lame.
They kind of are.
Well, they're as lame as you make them.
You just
Well,
have to find the right person.
If you're
who's
not
afraid of
making them lame, it's kind of lame if you're not making them.
You just
lame.
have to find the right person who's afraid of the Ouija board, and then you're good to go.
Ouija boards are stupid.
You literally just have to find the right person who's afraid of it.
Captain Howdy.
Yeah.
I'll call my sister and bring her out. The minute you show it to her, she'll scream and run.
People are so ridiculous.
I know.
It's a bunch of hokum, okay? You don't need the Ouija board, Corey.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Roll credits.
Post credits next.
Corey, speaking of not getting any days off,
Yeah.
how's it going for you?
He did this all on his own.
Yep. I'm exhausted. Already.
When was the last time you had a day off?
Last Sunday? Not like yesterday, but the Sunday before that.
You need to hire somebody.
About that, I've had 2 people now. One person asked if they could do my store for work experience for school. I said, okay, well, I'm interested. We'll talk later. And another person come in today who works like this casual security type thing. And he said, hey, you want any volunteers? I'm like, kinda.
Volunteer, eh?
Yeah. So, but he's like, his schedule is all over the map, so there'd be no firm commitment from him week to week. So that's good and bad. So
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
So it's kind of like having me come in to help you.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah. if I
Who's
can
this
get-
work experience kid?
just some girl in high school. She's really shy. Asian girl. She seems sweet, but she's a big Pokemon fan and everything like that. They actually, they're the ones who are telling me I should set up a table back here for cards, and I've said I'll think about it. So, but I'm still not
It
committed to
is
that
pretty
idea.
popular.
Yeah. So, but you'll see afterwards. I've been cleaning up back there. So
Well, it's tough to do anything now that you've got the gaming center here, right?
yeah, like what I could always do is turn the second panel 90 degrees, and then go like this with another 90-degree one. So
Nobody can see your visual with the.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Anyway, yeah. So aside from feeling it yesterday and wake up today sick as a dog, I'm fine. It was a shit day, but it is what it is. So,
As the honeymoon worn off now, now the dog days are in, or is it still?
it's the only thing I don't like is the slow days when they shouldn't be slow days. Like today, was a super nice day. Should not have been as slow as it was.
that's,
Good nice day, I like it.
That's why it was slow, though, is because it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get traffic when it's really bad weather, and then you don't get traffic when it's really nice weather.
So this is where your idea, like thinking, I'm going to put a bin outside. This is where you want to do it. Just make sure that it's shaded.
There's just a lot of shady people in this area, so I don't know.
It is true, and things are getting really bad.
Forward. Like all the cameras is getting really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame to see.
Or just pop your door open.
I was thinking about doing that actually.
Yeah.
I mean, because then you get dual entertainment. People come in and then you get to laugh at them when they run into the door because they're not paying attention to where they're going.
I do enjoy people's misfortunes. Anyway, shall we
How about you, Jeff? What's going on in your
What
life?
about Jeff?
I
about
also
Jeff?
haven't had a day off in over a week, if that makes you guys feel better.
Why do I always forget about Jeff? I'm a terrible person. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much going on. The broken nose is looking pretty good.
Yeah, stitches are up, honey.
Yeah, stitches are going pretty good.
Jeff, you always look good from the top of your head up.
Thanks. I think I might have done something to my ribs that were worse than I thought it was, so I'm going through a little pain right now. So that's unfortunate. But you know, that happens. Yeah.
Yes.
So you remember that meeting where we told the kids that we were going to bring bubble wrap?
Yep.
I'm just going to go get you a giant inflatable bubble.
Oh, I don't need bubble wrap.
No, I'm going to get you an inflatable bubble.
That'd be awesome. I was
Jeff in
working.
a hamster wheel.
I was working with young Connor today, and then like this side right here, I've got it taped up now, but I was like in lots of pain, and I'm like holding a box. He's like, "Let me carry that for you." I'm like, "Fuck off! I'm not a fucking invalid. Get the fuck out of here."
Meanwhile, you're like,
Yeah, you're wincing in pain. You're clearly in pain. I'm just like, ah!
pain is for the weak.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Say goodnight, Laura.
Good night, Laura.
Say goodnight, Danny.
Good night, Jeff.
I see it. Good night, Moon.
Good night, son.
I suppose it's
No.
Is that it?